Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine, and this is your daily show. I'm your host, Khalid Moeddin, and this is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. We've got a special show for you today, of course, because we know that tomorrow is the first test match between Pakistan and South Africa at Karachi, and everybody's looking forward to it. Everybody's licking their lips. Pakistani fans are really excited about it because it's the first time they've had like a strong opposition touring the country in 13 years. Yes, they had Sri Lanka there a year ago or 2 years ago, but this is the first time that you can actually say a top five team is traveling there and actually playing some cricket, which is going to be very, very interesting. So let's hope for a great clash. Let's hope for an exciting clash. This particular show is about Mark Boucher's press conference. But before we get going, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Click that notification bell for all future videos. And if you guys want to get involved with the live chat, this is the perfect video to do so, because we're going to be going into depth with regards to our discussions on the Mark Boucher press conference. I'm going to be playing you clips, and I'm going to have a DJ on here who attended the press conference who's going to give his thoughts on it too. So the perfect time for you to get involved with the live chat, to make sure that we read out your comments, because there's so much to get to and we don't have much time to get through everything. So if you want your comments to be read, please get involved with the super chat. Bottom right hand corner of the live chat is a $sign. Click on it and let's see what you have to say. So without further ado, let's get into the discussion. Let me welcome my guest. Welcome to the show, Aditya. Really great to see you again.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome. So let's get in straight into it. Mark Boucher had quite a lengthy press conference, about 30 minutes long, and he got into quite a lot of topics. Yes, some of it was things that you can ignore. Some of the things you really stood out and you can really speak about. But I think what we really need to talk about is the conditions, because Mark Boucher was very, very clear on what his angle is going to be for this particular series. So let me play the clip, and then I would like to hear what you have to say about it. Obviously, there was a little bit of a debate on our preview show yesterday. I tried to play the devil's advocate by saying, what if we bat second and chase on that wicket? I was trying to like protect maybe Aiden Markram with the thought processes, maybe hoping that there's going to be some swing up front or some movement up front on the Karachi wicket, and my whole how could I say, my own analysis and my whole attempt at the debating, that's why I never should have joined the debate team, was very flawed, because I really didn't get into everything that I wanted to before Paul got climbed in. But it was a really good debate about all of those things, and we'll probably get into it a little bit later if we have some time. Let's get into the first clip about Mark Boucher. We're speaking about the subcontinent conditions.
Yeah, look, I think it's a big thing. Not only is the weather a lot cooler, I think the conditions are completely different to what I've been in the past. You're getting luscious green outfields. The wickets in South Africa, where we're from, if it's colder, the wicket tends to play a lot slower. And I think we've probably seen that here as well. So we got here with something in mind with what we were going to get in the conditions. I think it's not as what we thought it was going to be. As I said, we spoke about reverse swing having gone to the ground only recently because of security measures. We found that the outfield was very green and quite moist as well. So I don't know how big a weapon reverse swing is going to be. I certainly looked at the wickets, and judging by the way that Pakistan have selected their squad as well, with so many spinners, having looked at the wickets, I think it's definitely going to turn. So I think it's the conditions are going to be proper subcontinent conditions with, I don't think, a lot of assistance for seamers.
Yeah, Aditya, so that's something that we spoke about, I think, a couple of weeks ago already, when we were discussing the whole Pakistan tour and talking about subcontinent and compared to India, all of those things. It seems that our thought processes about what we spoke about is correct, but what did you take out of that from Mark Boucher?
See, I think all the South African players who've talked about this series so far, including Mark Boucher's coach, have talked about unknowns, and they've generally said that we need to prepare for everything, which they have. So that includes spin, that includes reverse swing, because historically the Pakistanis have been great exponents of it. and spin because the weather conditions and the nature of the soil typically supports spin. In this case, generally, and I say this because I just happened to watch Misbah's press conference where he was, he didn't sound overly confident about the spin facet of things. And in fact, he was complimenting how the South Africans play spin, crediting the IPL for the improvements in the way that they play spin. So I think from one perspective, the South African perspective, there's a general underlying worry about their weaknesses against spin, but on the other hand, the Pakistanis don't seem to think that it's something that they can exploit. But from what I see, Pakistan with their pace attack on green conditions in New Zealand have conceded over 1,000 runs in 2 Test matches. So I think they're worried that they're not going to be able to bowl well on flat pitches in Pakistan, and therefore they're turning to spin. But again, they have Yasir Shah in their ranks. They don't have Shadab Khan, and I don't know who they're going to replace. Whoever they are, they're still going to have to deal with the inexperience of these individuals. I think was it Noman Ali and Sergeant
Noman Ali, yeah. I think Noman Ali took like 62 wickets, I think, something like that in the domestic season. That's incredible.
Yeah.
So maybe, and apparently a lot of the games were played, actually the majority of the games were played at Karachi. So they're kind of used to the spinning. At least the domestic guys, the debutants, the guys that are going to probably get a debut will be more conditioned to the condition, or more used to the conditions than a lot of the other Pakistan players, which is interesting. The debutants might give them the edge in this particular match, I feel. But let's talk about South Africa again, because I know that people are going to speak about who's the extra spinner going to be, if there's going to be an extra spinner, etc. Obviously, Mark Boucher said that he's definitely going to pick more than one spinner. That means 2 or more. So we could possibly see 3. We could, I think, that's obviously hoping for the best over there with regards to if you love spin bowling, because you'll have to then drop someone like Vian Milde if you're going to take 3. If you're going to take 2, then maybe you can drop one of the other seamers. But this is what Mark Boucher had to say about spinners. And then I'll go straight into his thoughts. Okay, actually, let's wait for that.
Definitely more than one spinner. Like I said, we sort of came here thinking that the reverse swing is going to play a big role. And as I said, sometimes you get to conditions and you just look at them and go, okay, well, I don't think that this is going to happen. I think that this is going to happen. So we believe that we've got different options within our squad. I do think that, which is a nice thing as well, we've got the mindset that we're not scared to go out there and try something different to what's happened in the past. We can see very clearly by their selection of their squad, by the conditions in front of us, that they are going with a spin mindset. We have got guys here to be able to select to we believe is going to do a job in those conditions, especially in Karachi. That might change in Rawalpindi. But yeah, we've definitely come in with a mindset that, if you want to win a series away from home, you've got to make a couple of brave calls. And I certainly am. I think the selectors and the team are going with that mindset into the game.
Yeah, the key over there is brave calls have to be made. I hope that he does make those brave calls. The toss-up is going to obviously be between Shamsi and George Linder for that second spinner spot. Linder is very good, but I think that Linder offers something very similar to Keshav. I think they're quite similar in their approaches. Of course, yes, Keshav, also they both add something with the bat. Equally, I feel. George Linder has scored more centuries, I think, than Keshav. But if you're going to take wickets, if you're going to replace a wicket taker, for example, if they drop Lungi, who's a wicket taker, he's in that side as a wicket taker. He's not in that side to hold up an end. He's in that side as a wicket taker. If you're going to drop a wicket taker, you need to replace him with a guaranteed wicket taker. Now, Shamsi adds a little bit variation with his wrist spins, and it's something different than to what Keshav offers and what George offers. Yes, George had a great series in India. We can't go against that. But if we're going to replace him with a wicket taker, I think it's Shamsi. Now, he was asked about Shamsi, So after I play the Shamsi clip, I would like to hear all your thoughts on that. Aditya, I would like to hear who you would pick, and I would like to hear your thoughts about which one between George and Shamsi. But let's hear what Boucher had to say about Shamsi.
You'll see tomorrow. I think, yeah, I mean, look, we'll get to the ground tomorrow. Tabraiz has been selected as an attacking, aggressive spinner. So if you get given the opportunity to give him a chance in spinning conditions, then why not? In saying that, you'll hear what our team is going to be tomorrow. There might be one or two surprises, there might not be. Let's wait and see. Yeah, I think in general, I mean, on flat wickets, you want pace through the air. So I think we have got that covered. You also need to balance it out with who's going to do a containing role. And I think we've got that covered as well. We've got an attacking option in the spin. So I think it's, but whatever team you select, there'll be a lot of sort of technical stuff and technical thought that goes into it. How are we going to pick up 20 wickets? We're definitely not going to go into a game thinking, we just want to contain. We want to be able to pick up 20 wickets as well in these conditions. So that's how we are thinking. We're not going to die wondering in these conditions. I think the conditions of, like I said, they look like they're preparing for spin. So, if you see a lot of spin in our setup, then that's the way that we feel we're going to pick up 20 wickets along with containing and being able to control a run rate. So, I mean, bottom line is whoever you select, they've got to go out there and perform their role. And hopefully they can do that.
Before you get going, Aditya, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I've blocked you for 5 minutes for spamming in the comments. Please, you can ask the question once. If you want to spam the comments, spam the live chat. That will help us. Maybe then you'll get your comments read out. So just don't spam the comments. Give your point of view, because we want an active, obviously a good interactive comment section over here. Sorry, Aditya. Just give me your thoughts on that. Shamsi or Linda, and what do you think about what Boucher said?
I think it comes down to how much Boucher trusts his batsman. Because if there is uncertainty in the batting department, then the Proteas need that cushion of having George Linde. He's got 3 first-class hundreds. The highest score of 148, so he can bat. The question is whether Boucher feels confident in the batting group. Because the scars of India wasn't too long ago, and I think there's been so much talk in the media about how the Proteas play spin that it's bound to play. It's bound to play in their heads somewhere.
Oh.
So I think that's what it would boil down to. But I think if he went for the aggressive option, he'd go for Tabraiz Shamsi. Definitely.
Yeah, I think so too. Sure. I mean, I love George Linde. He's one of my favorite players. Great human being, awesome person, great performer, great athlete. I love his attitude as well. I just think that in this particular game, playing both Maharaj and Linde, because they're similar with the ball, and understand with the bat that Linde offers more, so maybe you pick Linde. But I just think he's so similar to Maharaj with the way he bowls, and that's my only problem with it. Unless he's added some variations to his game a little bit more, then obviously he will take the edge. But if you're going to bring Shamsi all the way there for a test series, it's most likely that he's going to play. Maybe we'll see George being picked as the all-rounder instead of Vian Libber. Maybe we play with 3. That's also another possibility as well. And then you only have 2 designated seamers, basically, in Anik Nokia and KG Rabada. That's dangerous, but it's possible. It's not something that you have to throw out of the window. I mean, it's a major possibility as well. Although if you want a third spinner, you got Markram and Alga that can maybe offer a little bit as well with the ball, and not too much, but a little bit. That will also be an interesting one. Let's move on with the next point. I just want to talk about Boucher's approach. I mean, Prashna, that came on the show yesterday, spoke about, asked a question in the press conference about South Africa has never actually played for a draw in the last 23 matches, she mentioned. And he's like, but she asked if that's by coincidence. And Boucher actually gave a great answer. This is what Boucher had to say.
Well, I can't answer for what's happened in the past because I wasn't there. Certainly while I've been in charge, we go out there and we try to play to win. But I think as Steve always said, good teams or great teams, sometimes they're going to find themselves in tricky situations where they're going to have to fight out a draw. So I'm a realist. I understand that, you get into a game and the first session, you're going to try and make inroads and try and play for a win. If you get yourselves into a bit of a tangle and you've got to fight out a draw, I think sometimes those are the hardest test matches to overcome as well. So certainly we'll be going out to try and get a result in favour of ourselves. If we find ourselves in a tricky situation and it's realistically not a game that we can win, then we'll certainly go and try and find a way to draw the match. It's a 2-match test series. So, if you get on the bad side of a toss or something like that, which is very possible in the subcontinent, and you can somehow find a way to draw the match and give yourself a chance to still win the series in the second game, then you must do that. So I don't know. I don't know if it's just maybe coincidence, but certainly, we'll be going out to try and win the first test. But we'll just take it day in and day out to see where we are and how we can get the end result to be as favorable as possible with regards to our team.
Yeah. And everybody, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also become a patron today. The link is in the live chat as well. For you to do that, you can get exclusive content from us. There's a special live chat as well for you guys to talk to us 24/7. Actually, you can have a chat with us on the Discord server, where you can chat to all of us, and you have full access dependable on what tier you obviously join up with. And anybody can become a patron today from anywhere in the world. Just go check out the tiers. It's affordable cost for everybody. With regards to that attitude that Boucher showed, because that's a certain mentality that he's showing, to play for that, to play for the win all the time. I feel that Enoch Nkwe is that type of manager or that type of coach. He's always been like that with the Lions. He always told his players go for the win, not for the draw, even if they were in certain situations. So, did you like that from Mark Boucher?
I do. But I think in that response, what I liked most was that, he gave like a multi-dimensional response. He said when you can't when you aren't in a position to win and you can't possibly win, then aim for the draw. And that, I think, is what made Proteas teams of the past great. If you look at, I guess, that iconic series in 2012, which Faf drew, in an ideal scenario, obviously they would have liked to win, the Test of the Gabba, or even if they were in a position to win in Adelaide, they would have. But they were able to bat out 5 sessions, and ultimately they went for the kill in Perth. So I think the South African DNA is to be a multi-dimensional team. Sometimes, how often do we see Australia really fight out a draw? From I think in all the time that I've watched cricket, I've only seen them actually fight for it once. When Usman Khwaja made that 161. So
it's a very Australian mindset, because I remember interviewing Corbin Bosch. I can't remember exactly where it was. Go check out the exclusive interviews channel section. There, you'll see it over there. We spoke about that. He said that's the one thing that he learned from playing in Australia, because he went over there and he played some cricket over there in Australia. And he said that's the one thing that he took out. They'll never go out to the middle with the mindset of, look here, guys, let's just hit that for a draw. Let's go for the win. That is always the mindset with Australians. And that's something maybe that Boucher is going to implement. I hope he is, because I know Enoch thinks like that. So that's going to be interesting. Let's just move on the conversation quickly. I got one more clip to play for you guys, and it's about Quinton de Kock, who I think is going to be a key player in this match. I think that he needs some runs, and it's an opportunity for Quinny to really step up and again prove Drouters wrong, because people are questioning his captaincy, questioning that he can handle everything. There's constantly questions about Quinton and whether he can handle captaincy, wicket taking, and everything. So this is what Boucher had to say about Quinny.
Yeah, look, Quinny's a special cricketer. I mean, we've seen the best of Quinny, and I think he's a type of guy that opposition just hope that Quinny doesn't rock up and get into some good form, because he's a type of player that can take a game away from anyone, any opposition very, very quickly. Now, I think Quinny's the type of guy, like I said, who enjoys outdoors. So it's testing for him as well, being inside doors the entire time. Being a captain is just an extra that we've sort of added on to him. We're trying to help him out as much as we can in that department. So I'm very happy that he's taken on that role as well. I know it is tough at times, especially if your performances aren't exactly where you want them to be. But we can celebrate his 50th game tomorrow. I think it's a special occasion for any player. I know that Quinny it's just the start of his career. I think there's possibly another 100 games, 100 test matches in there for him personally. And hopefully we can get the best of Quinny in this particular series. As I said, it can only be a good sign for him as a person, as a captain, and also for the team coaches as well going forward.
Yeah, especially batting at 5. Your thoughts on that, Aditya?
Yeah, see, he obviously has a lot of faith in Quinton de Kock, and he does want him to score runs after a pretty lean series against Sri Lanka. But I don't think he's going to read into that too much as well, because sometimes in a winning team, you aren't going to have all 11 players performing to their potential. Sometimes you're going to miss out, but that's not always cause for worry. And Quinton de Kock does have a very good record against Pakistan, so I'm sure he's going to put up some good performances. There. He's a good player to spin too. So if they really come with that mindset, at number 5 he's probably going to be facing the last of the first of the new ball, or possibly the second new ball. So I think he's going to be in that position where conditions are going to suit his game.
Yeah, this is what's going to be key if South Africa bats first. Markram and Alga need to attack the seamers if they're going to start with seamers. If the pitch is giving something for the seamers at the beginning, Markram and Aiden have to cash in and really be patient with the seamers as well and frustrate them, but get some runs off them, because I'm concerned about Markram getting down for sweeps. Sweeps generally seem to be the antidote for spin. We saw how Joe Root played in the series against Sri Lanka, while he played the sweep shot. It's either way. Generally, how people go about playing the spinners is by obviously playing the sweep shot. Now, we don't get a lot of spin in South Africa, although in the 4-day series last season, majority of the wickets that were taken were from spinners. It shows how weak as well the players of spin are in South Africa. They don't normally play the spin very well and the sweep shot very well. Markram's also quite a unit of a guy, tall guy, so him to get down every single time, it is quite tricky. Although there are some big guys that have done it very successfully in the past, especially the West Indians. So I'm not using that as an excuse. But Markram is going to have to step up his game, be aware. I hope that he learns something from Mark Boucher as well. But guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks a lot to everybody. Wait, we just got a super chat from Dylan. Thank you so much. He says he loves the show. Thank you so much. We love your support, and keep up the support, guys. We're going to be coming to you with a lot of shows this week. Let me just explain to you what's going to be happening. We're going to be going live for our review shows. Now, I think what I'm going to try to do is, because Aditya is going to have to run off to do the presses. So because the games are going to probably end around 2 or 3 o'clock in South African time, I think, Aditya, you think that's around about, which sounds right? If they're going to kick off at 6 o'clock in the morning, it'll be around about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So maybe we could, would you prefer it if I waited for you to finish your presser so you can hop onto the review show, or are you okay?
See, I don't. I don't know what time the game's going to end.
Put him under pressure on a live video. You must put him under pressure on a live video. You must learn here.
If it ends at 5 p.m. Pakistan time, I think if that's the stipulated end time, it's 5:30 in India, and I'm guessing that 15 minutes later is when they're going to have the presser. So it's about 5:45, which for you would be 2:15 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm. So so I'm thinking about 3 o'clock for our review shows. Yeah, so it's nicely in the afternoon, and it also fits for everybody that's in India or our fans in Pakistan as well. So guys, get involved with our review shows. It's going to be a very interactive review show. I'm going to try to go a little longer with them so that you guys can get involved with the super chat. I see people asking over here, how can you super chat? There's a $sign in the live chat where you just click on it and it will pop up with options. And obviously you need to also put your credit card in on YouTube itself. And then once it's activated on YouTube itself, then you can obviously just click and then and purchase a super chat. So that's how you do it. For the future, Dylan, get involved in the comment section now. You can tell everybody, give them a tutorial on how to do it. But thank you so much for the contribution. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and I hope you guys are all staying safe during this period as well. And I hope you enjoy the game tomorrow, because it's going to be an epic match. I'm hoping that it's going to be a proper contest. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Click that notification bell for all future videos. Subscribe to the magazine. Click on the link on the screen or in the description. Go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all updates. We're going to be doing session moments for every single game. So we're going to be up and bright and early to talk about that. We also put up the team news at the toss, so you guys can get involved in the comment section to say who you don't like, which one you don't like, which one you do like, who you would have picked instead of whoever. Get involved on Facebook. That's where it will be. So follow us on Facebook as well. Become a patron today, please, guys. You can go into the link in the description for that, and it was in the live chat earlier on. And you can get exclusive content from us. We'll do shows just for you, as well as get involved with the Discord. Thanks so much for everybody for watching, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow with our review show. Take care, everyone, and thank you, Aditya. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.